I do not mean to pick on any particular odious loser in American media, but I'm moved to discuss Adam Johnson, who I saw for the first time. He evidently is a uh, Nation magazine writer. He's cut to the fetish of the queer. Um, and he's a particularly distressful example of the horrors being visited on the mindset of the American school bus in our Commonwealth. It's important to understand that he doesn't question Intercept magazine. The Intercept magazine was titled for Noam Chomsky's Gaga finding their own script. There was no such thing as an intercept. They found and poached their own script, which they had sent to me as a child when I was kidnapped and tortured, which they lied about. And it's important to understand that this gang traces back through um, World War II to Vichy. Vichy was occupied France, where Gurdjieff was a Gestapo magician. Gurdjieff's forces, working with Yoko Ono and the Beatles, are making genocide just another crime. Study that Noam Chomsky and his Dark Lordship for the Hebrew has championed. He's studied America's dismissal of the murder of children long enough to know what he can get away with. And Adam Johnson is helping him get away with it. I had a doctor at Multicare here in Tacoma who told me that if World War II happened today, America would lose. Adam Johnson is a very good example of why. Do not honor Adam Johnson. It's true that his mind has turns of phrase that are unique. He's a prankster of language. He talks about squaring the circle of liberalism's support for Israel, and he can uh, ad hoc drop a phrase from legal passages, but he's essentially a robocard. He's covering for Joe Biden. The reason why we would lose today is because of people like Adam Johnson. He says there will be no accountability. Do not honor Adam Johnson. There will be accountability. He says there will be no accountability for the New York Times. Do not honor Adam Johnson. There will be accountability for the New York Times. He says there will not be any accountability for Joe Biden. Do not honor Adam Johnson. There will be accountability for Joe Biden. One of the games that Chomsky has played for his crony and partner Donald Trump in making genocide just another crime has been to bray with the German-minded crank Pope Greg Koral that playboys running around are the problem. I'm sure that if you were to ask the people working in Doctors Without Borders what is a greater problem to their medical community, playboys or bombs, they would say bombs. Do not honor the Intercepts mindset. The Intercepts mindset was behind the AIDS attack, and they're moving on with Gaza. It's the most deplorable war game UW Dialectical has ever come up with. UW Dialectical were queers who went along with Yoko Ono and David Geffen in the AIDS attack because they were sniveling with Pope Karl, a German crank from the German Green Party, working to pretend they intercepted Chomsky's script so they could actually name a journalistic network after their fabrication, their Vichy Gurdjieff German crank fabrication, with the help of prima donnas like Adam Johnson and their prank psychology. And of course, Chomsky gurgles that his ethnicity, including Bernie Sanders, are ever beloved wisebeards of the left who they have betrayed. And UW Dialectical, having helped Yoko Ono and the Beatles release the AIDS virus and decimate a generation that way, blaming playboys while they were dropping bombs, found deplorable little men like Adam Johnson to say there would be no accountability when they dump on the children of Gaza. There was an Israeli apparently bragging in TikTok about shooting a 12-year-old girl. And Adam Johnson peeps. There will be no accountability. Yes, there will. Do not honor Adam Johnson.